She lives in Ambridge now, but on 9/11, she was working in the World Trade Center in New York City. Joyce Ceasar escaped with her life, but since that fateful day, she's experienced a host of health problems. But she's been denied compensation by a fund set up to help victims' families and survivors.
KDKA lead investigator Andy Sheehan spoke with Ceasar and reached out to the fund, questioning why she's been denied.
On the morning of September 11, 2001, Joyce Ceasar was on the 36th floor of the South Tower of the World Trade Center when the world was about to change forever.
At approximately 8:45, the first plane came in and hit the North Tower. We smelled the jet fuel coming in through the vents.
Although the PA system told workers to remain in place, Joyce and her co-workers immediately descended down the crowded stairway to the street level, where she looked up to see people leaping from the North Tower.
You saw them on the ledge, and they just plummeted down. And I said, oh my God, there were two people holding hands and then jumping.
In the years that have passed, the emotional trauma is recurring. At the same time, she's experienced a host of physical infirmities. She's on oxygen for respiratory problems, had open-heart surgery, and has been diagnosed with melanoma. And yet her claim for compensation has been denied by the 9/11 Victims' Compensation Fund.
I feel it's an injustice. We didn't ask for this to happen. It happened, and you are denying the compensation.
The original compensation fund closed after paying out $7 billion to the families of victims and survivors who were injured that day. But it was reopened in large part to compensate workers who became ill, breathing toxic fumes clearing the site, but covers survivors who have since developed related medical conditions. Do you believe that your health problems were a result of 9/11?
I can't really say it didn't help.
But her denial is a mystery. She's been designated as an eligible survivor by the World Trade Center Health Program, which is covering at least some of her medical costs. But the Victims Fund has rejected her claim for financial help. In the immediate aftermath of the attack, Joyce and others naturally fled to safety. But in this letter, a law firm representing her says this is why her claim has been rejected. Quote, because you were not within the VCF's designated exposure zone for the required minimum number of hours. The law firm did not return phone calls, but the VCF website states there is no minimum. And while a spokesperson said she could not discuss specific cases, she sent me a message saying the same, quote, it is correct that the VCF does not have a minimum amount of time that an individual needed to be present at an eligible location. And she notes rejected claims can be appealed. Forced out of her New York home by Superstorm Sandy, Joyce and her husband Tim live in this modest house in Ambridge with their two rough collies, Amber and Regina. She knows of others who have been denied and doesn't think it's right.
I feel they just still want to pay out for the people that not only were first responders, but people that worked in the area, that worked at the building.
Joyce is appealing, and we will continue to ask the fund about these discrepancies in their denial. We'll let you know if they reverse their decision. Reporting in the newsroom, Andy Sheehan, KDKA-TV News.